I'll never forget years ago, my wife and I had scraped up just enough money. We always had a date night. And I took her out. This time I just decided to splurge and go out to eat at this buffet, seafood buffet we lived on Sanibel Island on South Seas. They used to have a Friday night Chadwick Sea. It was unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't imagine heaven could have a better buffet. They don't have it anymore, but anyway. So we got there and we just, and because we had split, I mean, it was a massive splurge. I can't remember what anniversary, birthday, whatever it was. It was a massive splurge. And when we got done with the meal, we went to pay, and the lady said, "You don't need to." And I said, "What do you mean we don't need to?" So "You don't need to. It's been covered." Somebody had paid our meal. I can't tell you the number of times that's happened to us over the years. I don't know if people see you praying, if somebody knew, I don't know. But I know this, that behind that generosity is a God that loves to pay the fare. What do I mean by that? Well, Jonah in the Old Testament, God gave him directions and orders that he didn't like. And he decided, I'm going to go the opposite direction that God wanted him to go. And he goes down, and the scriptures say when he gets down to Joppa that he pays the fare to get on the boat to run from God. The principle you can learn from that is that when you disobey God, not only does it get painful, it's always expensive. Disobedience is expensive. God doesn't pay the way for our rebellion. Now, he paid the way for our forgiveness, but when you walk in the will of God, when you are obeying God, going where he tells you to go, doing what he's told you to do, he pays the fare. God picks up the tab. I had a dear friend that went to be with Jesus last year, my best friend, Bob Manderscheid. I loved him and counted on him, depended on him for almost 40 years of my life, my whole ministry. And Bob and his wife Sue were just so generous to Kim and I, and they're grateful. But he'd often take us out to eat. And we knew, early on I tried to arm wrestle him, and he would just never have us pay. And he said, "Listen, let's settle it. Don't ever ask me again. If we're eating out, I'm paying." And so we fought that battle, but then he would often say this to me before we ordered. We'd have the menu, and he'd say, "Jamie, be good to yourself." And it was just permission to order the lobster if I wanted to order the lobster, or order 2 lobsters if I wanted. He gave me permission to receive his generosity. I want to say to you, God wants you to be good to yourself, not in a self-absorbed way, but in a way that you receive his blessings. If you're walking where God has called you to walk, doesn't make it easy, but God will pay the fare. Let God be good to you today.